sometimes a situation demands action. There is no good in ISIS. Zero. This isn't an army or a group that's fighting for freedom or equality. It's just the opposite. They're fighting for repression and control, and you either believe their way or you die. The first team that went over, I looked around that group and I saw all the individual gifts, and I looked at myself and I thought, what the heck are you doing with these talented guys? And I spent a lot of that trip feeling a subpar, like, man, what am I bringing to this group? And I don't know if it's always what you bring to the group or what talent you have, but it's, I'm reminded back in the Old Testament of who God used. And it was then just taking the mindset of, I don't know what talents I have, but I'm just going to do what God asked to do. We traveled up to Dahook, and we would come to a checkpoint, and you would have military men with automatic weapons, and they would lean in the car, and they would look at this van full of Americans, and they would say, are you Christian? Are you American? And you had to answer yes. And when you did, go on. And it was like, man, that's God. Yes, we've done housing, we've done food, we've helped establish churches there through the pastor there now. So we're meeting spiritual needs. We've had teams go over and take medical into the Peshmergas. It's endless the effect grace is having over there. I want to keep us focused on them. I don't want us to think we're done. I don't want us to think we're 80% done. You know what? We're 2% done right now. We have a lot more to do. And we've got to hold on to this vision as long as God has called us towards it. And I think we need to focus our efforts and go at it wholeheartedly. And remember, this is what God wants. This isn't what Grace wants. This isn't what the pastors want, or it's not what I want. This is what God is calling us to do right now. And that's a huge responsibility. Huge.
I get to ride a motorcycle a lot, and I get to hang out with other dudes who like to ride and like to have a good time together. FCMC, the FC stands for Free Christian. We based it on Galatians 5:1, where we're told that we're supposed to live in freedom and not in bondage. And so yeah, we felt like we had an opportunity to bridge into the community and kind of take that freedom and show people what that looks like, something different than a lot of people are used to. There's a sense of brotherhood that that drew me in. It's just a deep connection of living in biblical community and sharpening each other, pulling the best out of each other. We go into the darkest of dark places, and we try to take Jesus and a light into those environments. First thing that pops into my head is a place like Summerfest, a biker party weekend where a lot of darkness, a lot of sin and things going on, but in the midst of all of that, there's this group of 30 people who are trying to bring Jesus and are trying to be light and are trying to serve and trying to help in whatever way we can. And it's made a difference. Like, we've seen that difference. We've seen people act differently because of the light that we bring into an environment like that.
Yeah, so as you heard Brandon talk, the FCMC motorcycle ministry team is an example of what we're calling field focus teams here at Grace Community Church. You see that we mobilize our church family to the community through blitzes. Those are things that we do in mass together, large numbers of us going out into the community. Field focus teams are a narrowing down, a fine-tuning of the same principles of blitz into smaller groupings of people who have different affinities for things. We all talk about being on mission in our workplace. We talk about being on mission in our neighborhood. Field focus teams are opportunities for you to be on mission in some sort of recreational or hobby activity that you enjoy. As Brandon likes to ride motorcycle and is grouped together with other guys who enjoy riding motorcycles, he's now taken that love and that gift from God and become intentional about it out in the community to reach other motorcyclists for Christ. The same opportunity is true whether it's our Safe Haven Amish outreach or our ESL program or other opportunities and activities that we've done here at Grace. For example, recently we had the New Paris Speedway Blitz. It was a huge success. It left a tremendous impact on that community of people who are regularly out there at the track throughout the summer. We'd love to start a field-focused team that spends time out there on mission at that track with regularity, getting to know the people who race there, who manage the facility, who work the grounds. In fact, even working up to the point of serving there and becoming an integral part of what goes on at the racetrack, all the while doing so on mission for Christ. We could have dozens and dozens of field-focused teams based on the recreational or hobby interests of the people here at Grace. People who run, people who ride bicycles, people who like drag racing cars. The possibilities are endless. It's all about calling. It's all about a sense of understanding that the things that you love to do, God put that there in your heart. And if you'll group together with others who enjoy the same activity and form a team and begin to pray and ask God how He might use you to be on mission in the community to reach others who enjoy that same activity, you might be surprised what would happen, and people will come to Christ.
God said go.
God said go.
God said go.
God said go.
I went.
I went.
Grace Community came to me.
I went.
How will you go?
Now how will you go?
How will you go?
How will you go?
Grace Community Church is going. How will you go with us?